Okay, so this is the last of 23 years of story. This is the conclusion. I decided to bunch up the last 3 years into one video. You have Dreamcast 84s out there. Maybe you want to be here for this. If not, I'm all by myself doing this nonsense. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the blueprints for the mosaic I did in 2014, but didn't finish. So we're going to kind of fast forward through some of this. Okay, we're looking at pencil sketches. This is a Rose Marie, or Rosa as I call her sometimes, from Grey Patriarchy. Beautifully done. I like her white shorts with the zipper halfway done. Very well thought out. She has a bad knee because her hemophilia is now dominant and not recessive because of the devastation. This is Jerry before and after. This is Jerry the Reaper. And it's almost pretty much the same. I'm going to redesign these characters a bit more. After looking at my Circus Island from the last video, the 2015 one, I decided I may redesign it to look more like the ones you saw for the last 23 years entry. So that's Jerry before and after. This is Rye from Grey Patriarchy. And Rye here has a collapsible helmet, some goggles, a fireman's coat, fireman's pants, and these rolling shoes. He speaks mostly Japanese. He has these burn-proof gloves, asbestos gloves. This is what Zetro looks like. Zetro has this weird skeleton body, these four legs, these wings like a grasshopper's wings. Kind of moves like a grasshopper. This is Gino from Grey Patriarchy. He's got the tongue belt buckle. He's a warrior, but he's also a guitarist. He's a doctor. We're going to see more of Gino later on in Grey Patriarchy. This is Huicho from Grim Planet. He's got that boss hog look. I modified him a little bit to have the coins in the air juggling. Yeah, that's Huicho. This is Violet from Grim Planet. Violet's got the slutty, the busty look, Asian doll look. This is what I wanted for her. We got a motorcycle in the background. Everybody loves motorcycles. This is Jesus with his maze tattoos, big muscular look. This is a test I was doing for Rose Marie. This is Drake's character. Drake from Grey Patriarchy. This is Jorge from Grey Patriarchy with a milk crate on his head, cracked open, and like moss on his body. This one is Tulip with an island look. Pants. You gotta make sure she wears pants. This one is Zether, her boyfriend, their boyfriend and girlfriend. I have some romance in this story, but not a whole lot. Kaleido, who is the deciding factor in... So those three characters, Tulip, Zether, and Kaleido, they're from Green Pueblo, which is the third book. This is Silverbone from Green Pueblo. These are the circus freaks from Grey Patriarchy. And here are some outlines for art I was going to finish but never did. Got all kinds of stuff in here. Here's Jerry's image. Roth McGough. Lots of blueprints. Some of these will get finished, some of these will not get finished. Okay. We got 6 more things to show. But let me show... Well, first of all, let me show you... I've shown this before. I'll show it again, just for the record. So, this is art for Grim Planet. I think what I'll do is, after I finish Grim Planet, reading it out to you, I will show you sort of comic book I made that's not very long. Here we have, here's some good stuff. Got some art in here. These are Korean models. This is Udali. These are based on Instagram pictures I took pictures of. So this is based on a real photograph of Udali, the Korean model. Here's another one. I've shown all these before. Here's her with Garfield. It's the Christmas one. I was supposed to do like promotional art through another person, through a middle person for McQueen. Didn't work out. I haven't seen any more of McQueen. I think that disbanded. I think that came and went like the tide. This is like the Seven Dwarfs. Here's another picture. It shows all the McQueen ladies together. This one I kind of doctored to put Udali in there. Here is Udali at on the ocean. This is all done by Sharpie markers and pencils. Okay. Here is Soy, another Korean model, very famous, very popular right now. This one is Chui Soye or Soye, all Korean models. This one here is Dodo Minseo or Do Minseo. This one is Soye in pop figure form. Here we have Woohee or Lovies as it's pronounced or shown. This is Chui, I think it's Chui Soye again. I think it's Soye again. That one's her holding her phone. Some of these are photorealistic. This is something I created where it was like a 45-degree picture. So instead of like this or like this, it's at an angle, and you just see the girls at an angle. So that's what I was coming up with. You can see all the different models. And this one is Bling Juni or Joni. And here is Kyurim. We're talking all of these. Got a whole bunch of these things in here. So it's like that. This one is another piece of art. Oh, jeez. This is for like Super Mario parodies and stuff. This is like Bailing. I did some how to do Bailing photos. Yeah, this is supposed to be Bailing as Dorothy. I don't know. This is what it is. Okay. Enough of that. I'm boring the crap out of you. So let's go to the next thing. I'm wrapping this up. Just be happy I'm wrapping this nonsense up. So we have some of the recent art. This is Rosa Maria from Grey Patriarchy. This is from Grim Planet. This is Jerry the Reaper. This is from Grey Patriarchy. This is Grim Planet. Here's Zetro before the accident and after. This is Grey Patriarchy, Gino. This is Violet in the Nude. This is Grim Planet. Here is Weicho from Grim Planet. This is Jesus from Grim Planet. Drake from Grey Patriarchy. Grey Patriarchy. This is from Green Pueblo Tulip. This is Zether. This is Silibone from Green Pueblo. Kaleido from Green Pueblo. His tattoos you don't see, but they show where he's been around the world. His solar panel suit. Here we have Roth McGoth from Gray Patriarchy and Green Pueblo. This is Red to Black, an albino who speaks Haitian Creole, and he's from Green Pueblo. These are some other things in here. I did some Superman, Clark Kent, Lois Lane inspired stuff. I never finished it, but it was supposed to be a planet where all the different IPs were in, like Ninja Turtles, Marvel, DC, video game characters. Here, I'm only going to show you a little bit because I'm going to show you later. I took Dire Vampire Shire from my second book that I never published, or the third book, and I decided to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this is all from, from the third book I was going to publish. All this stuff here. I took this section of the book and I made that a separate book and rewrote it a bit. Okay. Let me show you the other books. There's 3 more books, 3 more things to look at. This one here is, of course, Grim Planet. This is the book I'm showing now, finishing it up next week. And this book has Dire Vampire Shire, this book here is a parallel universe to the Grim Planet series, or the Great Places trilogy. And Grim Planet has a sequel to that, Great Patriarchy, which is 2 years after the devastation. A different person is the protagonist. And here we have Green Pueblo, which takes place 20 years after the devastation. I would say 18 years after. It's 18 years after Great Patriarchy and 20 years after the devastation. So it's a long way. Or actually, I would say, no, that's not correct. If the devastation happened at 2011, then 2013 was like a 2-year devastation. So it's 20 years after Great Patriarchy. I'm trying to get it all right. But anyway, this is it. So there's 4 different seasons for this story to take place. And I'm currently working on another story called Gorgeous Pendeja, which I did show in an earlier, I showed it in an earlier video because Dreamcast 84 was around and I wanted to kind of show him some stuff and hopefully show all of you. So let me go ahead and give some final thoughts. Why did I do all of these things? To kind of say fuck you to the people who thought so little of me. The people who thought so little of me thought maybe I was just jerking off or smoking a bowl or snorting lines off a table or scratching lottery tickets or doing heroin and shit or not doing anything, or I have better things to do. Look, I applied for work at different jobs. I was not happy. It was either I do 7-Eleven jobs, Jiffy Lube jobs, McDonald's jobs, Togo's, Subway, XYZ, you name it. Either I was going to do those kind of jobs and be miserable, or do things I really want to be happy. I try to do volunteer work. That has not worked out very well. If I do volunteering, it's part-time. It's once in a while. But other than that, there isn't an outlet where I can truly be myself. YouTube, for the last 3 years, has been an outlet I can be myself. I can be me and not have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And all this time since high school, since I graduated high school to now, okay? So I was always an artist when I was a little kid growing up, okay? Growing up, and then getting older, getting to the point where I'm like just old, whatever that means. From when I was 17, so I drew naked girls, when I was like 14 or 15, okay? But when I was 17, I was inspired by Skeleton Warriors. And I was inspired by 3 different people with 3 different things. Like you took Eric Anaya, the nerdy guy, the nerdy fat Latino who's into comic books and he's very analytical and very well spoken. You take Ashley, the tall, sexy chola, who could be a lowrider girl. She's a sexy chola with short shorts and tank top and everything. And then you get Moses, this Quasimodo, retarded kind of looking Latino ugly kid, right? And you take these three people who are just have nothing in common, and you put them together. And that, as far as my writing and my narration went, you start to get an idea. Donkey Kong 64, a game about 5 different characters who seem different, that inspired me to do the Outcasts and the Outcasters. And then, like The Simpsons and video games and Star Wars and all comic books that I read, that inspired me to create all these other characters. So for 23 years, I was creating characters that I strongly believed in, that I said, I'm going to keep on doing this, hacking at this, hacking at this, hacking until I got it right. Like George Lucas, I kept changing my mind, and I said, I'm going to do this over and over until I get it right, until I finally have it in my head. And up until 2016, I didn't. And I kept on juggling around with these ideas. So, it's just, for me, this is a labor of love. This is a labor of life. It's like a marriage. You do this for 23 years. And you try to see if you can get good at it. I started doing this kind of work when I was 17. And I'm coming over here for a moment so I can show you the work that I've been putting in. This is for a 3D storytelling thing. And it was based on, if you remember, Little Red Riding Hood. And in Little Red Riding Hood, there was a doll. Let me show you what I'm doing here, okay? So this is the devastation side. And on the other side is the happy side. So you can see in here, there's different pieces and different things. It's telling the story of Grim Planet in one piece of art. You can see Jerry's face in here. You can see all this stuff. And there's Biani. This is what she looks like, a beautiful woman with these beautiful long hair and stuff. Now here you can see that's Fat Cat Adolfo. Here's a tossed over school bus. I'm going to try to put this all together very soon. Here's one of the cholos from Los Granios. Here's a tree. And there was a house in there you saw, and a building. And here is, this is Blind Justice, the Blind Justice lady. Here's her breast and breastplate. You put that underneath. I have all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to figure it all out. And we'll have a nice, like I said, it's just. So the way I see it is, with MGTOW and Kavanaugh, thank God Kavanaugh got the nomination. I don't think he's the best Supreme Court justice, but hey, So, we just need to trust each other more. Women need to trust men. Women need to know their place, just as men need to know their place. Men get electrocuted, we get shot at, we get accused of sexual harassment and rape and wrongdoings. We can die by bullets, we can die by strangulation. Men can die in car accidents, blown up, nuked, bombed. So men know, we know our limits, but women never seem to know their limits. And we live in a time where Democrats, like the puppets, like puppeteers, okay, treat black people, Mexicans, Asians, gays and lesbians, metrosexuals, soy boys, and women like puppets, playing on their insecurities and civil rights. And while civil rights is extremely important, there are times where Republicans are right, and there are times where the Green Party is right. So I don't take political sides. I don't take social sides. I fight on the side that is strongest. That has how has always been for me. And when I go through the next 2 books with you, you're going to see what it means to not take sides necessarily, but to do the right thing regardless. So I'm going to close out. We will focus on this Heinz ketchup bottle to close us out. And I want to say to you all, I really hope you can take the time to look. Besides, you have the time for Boogie 2988, for PewDiePie, for Joe Rogan, and Review Tech USA and Pat the NES Punk, and Total Biscuits channel, and everybody else, Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd. If you could take time for those people, you can take time for me, because I'm not here to be viral. I'm not here to be nasty. I'm not here to be mean. But when I see bullshit, I don't care who it's from, Democrats, Republicans, women, men, black, white. If somebody bullshits you and tells you you can't live your life, you tell them to go fuck right off. You tell them, I'm going to live my life the way I want to. Respect other people. Respect people's property. Don't bullshit people who don't deserve it. Don't be a pig. Don't kill. Don't steal. If you can respect those basic rules, as I told you before, and you live your life, whether you're an artist, you're a writer, you're a music composer, you're a stunt man, and I will do a stunt double, stunt performer, what I have learned in 2018 very soon, when we get to the end of December. But after that, I want you all to know that I'm very happy getting to this point right now. And I'm just writing these short stories again for the umpteenth time to get the work I really want out there. So when I say be kind, be cruel, be you, be true to yourself, but don't do anything really stupid like killing anybody or stealing. Um, don't hurt anybody unless it's really like your back's to the wall or they're about to hurt someone else, you know. And just honestly, just live your life right. Um, Use common sense. Don't let people fuck with you and say that things you do are wrong. Don't let anybody do that to you. I enjoy doing these stories, and I think, as one crazy woman from one of the, um, I forget, I think it's called meetups, and you go and meet people. I met this one crazy woman who did a book club meeting, a writing club meeting in a bar, and she says, "Oh, if you wrote Grim Planet for you, well, that's nice. Well, that's fuck you. You're being condescending. I didn't write this story just for me. This story I wrote because I saw society was falling apart. A lot of the beta males, white knights, social justice warriors, people who defend Hollywood actors and Jim Carrey and I'll say Natalia Portman and um, what's her face, Jennifer Lawrence, and all the actors in the world and the music stars and people who defend Beyonce and Jay-Z when they say fuck the police. You know, the people who are blinded by mainstream media, I'm mad at those people, and you should be too. Okay? My teacher taught me back in 2003 for children's media, think for yourself, do for yourself. I don't want anyone to ever think that I didn't do anything in all these 23 years, because while I was not getting jobs and while I was not getting employment in proper jobs and things for my bachelor's degree, my associate of arts, I was working on these stories the entire goddamn time. That has been the one constant. When I couldn't get a girlfriend, when I couldn't get married, when I couldn't have kids, when I couldn't have a nice normal life, this was the one constant. The Outcasters, the Devastators, the Grim Planet. These characters, these fictional characters, I have loved more than anything else, probably even my own family. So I'm going to close out before I get into any more rantings, before I lose my voice here, before I turn to Alpha Omega Sin. Uh, I'm going to just close out and say, be kind, be cruel, be you, and live your life right, and don't worry about what anybody says about anybody. Live your life, use your common sense. Every person who cries rape is every individual case. Every person who is a victim, look at them carefully. Maybe they are a victim, maybe they're not. Everybody should be taken with a grain of salt, because you never know when they will help you or when they may hurt you. But everybody is different, but everybody is the same. There are stereotypes and there are not. So take care and have a good rest of the weekend and maybe a good Halloween. Take care.